This next set of passages is Ephesians 4, chapters 1 through 6. And in chapter 4, we get into the practical section, chapters 4 and 5. I remember Watchman Nee talking about sit, walk, and stand, and he was discussing Ephesians, saying in the first 3 chapters, we're seated in heavenly places. In chapters 4 and 5, we walk before the Lord and walk in the Spirit. In chapter 6, we stand against the wiles of the devil. And a lot of these verses, you're going to find the thoughts just kind of penetrate and go from one to the other, and I really try with the music to keep that flow going. So I'm hoping that you get the same idea, and hopefully I have some of the passion that Paul had when he did write some of these wonderful verses. Again, this is chapter 4, verses 1 through 6.
I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that you walk worthy of the vocation wherewith we are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body, one Spirit, even as you are called in the one hope of your calling. One Lord, one faith, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all, and in you all.
This is Ephesians 4, verses 7 through 10.
But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ, of Christ. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive, and gave gifts unto men. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth, the lower parts of the earth. He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things, that he might fill all things.
These verses are Ephesians 4, 11 through 16. And as you know, I like the King James Version best because it's the most, I think, poetic and easiest to put to music. And of course, that's what I started on a long time ago, so I'm very comfortable with it. But this particular passage, especially verse 16, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth. I remember when I first read that, I didn't know what that meant. And so I had to look it up in a easier reading version to understand that it meant that we were all working together as one body in Christ. And I'll be looking at the words and chords on this one for sure, because it's just a tongue twister. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and